What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rough Effect. I'm your host Jay, and today we're going to be diving right into my impressions on Undisputed. Now, Undisputed is this brand new boxing game on Steam. It's within early access, so let's just dive right into it. When you're at the menu, you have the options to play now, play online. The online mode does have ranked mode, it seems like, so you can go on there right away if you're an advocate to boxing and you like boxing games and you compete online. They do have that, and that's where the longevity I could see is within that mode. If you're like me, who's a casual gamer, when it comes to boxing games and enjoys more of a career mode and creating their own character, unfortunately is also unavailable. But in the future, I can see the workshop being very, very helpful for the longevity of this game. You can eventually have Rocky, Apollo, and then possibly even settings where it's more bloody when you get into a fight, because honestly that's one of the things I was actually looking for, is a way to make the match like a Rocky style fight where people are going the distance and like really getting beat up in the facial area. But it seemed like as of right now, I'm playing now, worst I did was cut a guy's eye open, and luckily I was able to do that because I had 10-20 other fights after that in play now and I could not bruise someone up whatsoever. But as of right now, $30, all you're getting is a play now and play online. So that's up to you if you guys want to purchase that with, I would say, at least half of its content that's available to you. Now, the gameplay. The gameplay is where it really shines. The fighting really feels fluent, a lot like Fight Night Champions if you've ever played that game. It really shines here with the actual boxing, which is what mostly matters. Now, there are some learning curves within this game, like any other boxing game. I honestly was having a difficult time beating the normal CPU within this game, which to some that might not be so good, and to others that are more advanced into boxing games might be like, oh cool, there might actually be some of a challenge within this game. The impacts of the punches sound really real, and just the way that sometimes you hit someone and you hear that oof, like it just sounds really impactful when you whack someone with a haymaker or something like that. So there's that. The overall game experience is just really fun within the ring. I would have to say before the match, there's these introductions like any other fighting game. And I have to say they look really good, but it just falls flat for me because there's not really music or any type of uniqueness around each fighter and as they walk to the ringside. I don't understand why they don't have music playing for some of these boxers, but I noticed myself immediately after watching a few of these introductions, I completely skipped it and got right into the fight. The next thing I want to bring up is the camera angles. I believe there's only two different angles that you could choose from. One is zoomed in, the other one's like zoomed out a little bit, and that's the normal one. I believe the default setting is the one that's further zoomed out. And right away, I do want to state that the camera angle is very unique, really cool at times. It's very cinematical, it feels like, and I enjoyed it, but it is very glitchy at times. I notice it like gets hooked up on the ring somehow. I don't know really how that's the case that it does that, but it's very jumpy and glitchy. And at times it's nauseating, to be honest. But once they fix that and patch it up, I feel like it's going to be a really cool camera angle to play in. And then also within the settings, there are ways to possibly fix that jankiness, the tilt and all that. I didn't turn any of those off. I didn't try to see how it would look, because I feel like the way they have it is the way they want you to play it. So I didn't touch any of these settings. Let's move on over to graphics. The graphics are really sharp. I'm using a 3080 Ti on ultra settings. The scenery around the arena itself, the characters within the arena, the colors, the vibrance of everything. It's just very well done and very immersive. Where it kind of falls flat for me is some of the character models. The character models are not the best I've seen. They're good, they're really good, but they're not the best I've seen in video games. And some character models look a little bit off compared to others. Overall, the graphics for the 2 hours I played were really pleasant. I enjoyed it, and it didn't take away from the immersion of the gameplay whatsoever. So the final thing I will bring up before we get is it worth the price is the sound. Now the sound during the main menu, I would say they had some pretty good soundtracks. The music was getting me engaged and wanting to play. I was enjoying just looking through the menus and listening to the music. So I think they have a decent soundtrack within the game. Also, then you have crowd noise where you're starting to hit someone, they're starting to get rocked, and then you can hear the crowd really roar and like get excited. So the sound is there for the audience, for the punches like I was bringing up before. The only downside I have is with the introductions not having any music there. And I swear I had the music all the way up at 100%, so I don't know if it's either a glitch or they just don't have music during the introductions. But other than that, the sound, the announcers were really nice to listen to, and just overall the sound is really good. So is it worth the price? Is it worth $30 to buy Undisputed as of right now? For me, who's a casual boxer fan that just buys the games to go through the career modes and be done with, I would say wouldn't say there's enough content as of right now for $30. But there are certain people that love boxing games. They want to fight people online, and if that's the case, there is enough content, there's enough boxers right now to go in there and play against people online. So overall, if you are diving into Undisputed for the career mode, creating your own character, adventuring through what the story will give you, it's not there yet, don't pick it up. If you're an advocate of boxing and want to just go and fight people online, the content's there. They have enough boxers within the game that you can go through all the different weights and compete with. So overall, it is worth the price for some, and it's not worth the price for others. So that's my impressions of Undisputed. If you enjoyed, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you guys on my next video, which would be Warlander, the review, the free-to-play game on Steam. If you haven't checked it out, definitely go check that out. Hopefully I can have the review done before the Harry Potter game comes out, because I can't wait for that game. But other than that, that's it. I'm done. Get out of here. Go enjoy the rest of your day. See ya.